I lost that a couple days ago. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, we're good. All right, we're live now. I'm the sniper. He's the pundit. This is Top Rope Talk. I am Denzel Snipes, and I'm here with Jacob Christner, and we are here to give you the latest and greatest in this past week of professional wrestling. Jake, how you doing, man?
Feeling good, feeling good. Fleecing everybody in my trades for
You
fantasy
there?
these last few days. You there?
Okay, this is weird. I'm
Yep. Can you
live
hear
right
me?
now.
Can you hear me?
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Hey, you're starting to catch on to the game, right?
Oh,
Yeah, I'm here.
absolutely. Can you hear me? Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can hear
good.
you.
No, I'm fleecing I'm fleecing the usual
Yeah, I can
suspect.
hear you. Can
I
you hear
said
me?
yes, I can hear you. I said I'm fleecing the usual suspect in fantasy football right now, and I'm 3-0. So 3-0 in one league and 2-1 in the other.
Hey, you catching on, dude? You said this is your second year playing, right?
Many years, but I did it random. Second year with you guys. Many
Okay, okay.
years. Yeah, but many years in rando leagues and stuff like that. So I got my butt kicked in one of the leagues last year, and then I caught on. Let's just put it that way.
Okay, yep, sounds good. Well, just a reminder to everybody out here. There's excuse me, there's a bad storm here in Houston, and I almost didn't make it on in time because the internet got knocked out, and then just in time it came back on. So if I get knocked off the air, everybody excuse me. It's just a really bad weather down here. But those of you all who are catching us for the first time, understand that. Hold on one second, because I look like really dark. Hold on. All right. So, for those of you all who are checking us out for the first time, just know that we are on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and DBTV, as well as Stream TV. Catch all the replays on Stream TV. And also, you could just like and subscribe to Sideline Sports because we have a lot of material all week long, not just this show. There's also the Gauntlet, there's Hawk Talk, there's Sideline Sports, there's also College Football Fridays, Pushing Back with Kobe White. You name it, we got it. So, also confidential as well on Wednesdays. So there's always that. So make sure you catch us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Hit like and subscribe to Sideline Sports on YouTube as well. And now let's go on to our first topic, and that is our WWE Raw results from September the 18th. So in the main event, Drew McIntyre beat main event Jey Uso. Becky Lynch retained the NXT Women's title versus Natalya. So, quick question, because it's been a few years. Do you think that it's time for Drew McIntyre to be thrown into the World Heavyweight Championship picture?
Not in the way they're doing it. Not in the way you can get this. I mean, he just lost a pay per view with Gunther. He'll lose the big matches, and it's like they're not setting anything up. They're setting anything up other than he still has the sword. And he still has a badass look.
Yeah.
But other than that, what are they setting up really? It's setting up for Gunther to be the world title.
Yeah, I would agree with that one. In fact, I have him winning the Royal Rumble in 2024. But
Yeah.
and it's crazy because when we get to our finisher DQ, I'm willing to hear your commentary behind that one most definitely. But with Drew McIntyre, right? And you know what? Here's another question: do you think that it's time for Drew McIntyre to go back heel?
Yeah, but can you? They could really
Can
do
you hear me?
something awesome with him. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hmm?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you. Go
No,
ahead.
they'll do awesome. No. If they do awesome with them, they do better with heels and faces. No matter if they're a face company or not, they do better with heels. If they can do something awesome with him, absolutely go with it. But are you going to do the same thing? It's not worth it. You there? You there,
Yeah,
bud?
yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
The last time that he was a heel. Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Of course. Yes. We're about 7 seconds apart.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, man, it's just storm slowing down everything down. But yeah, I mean with Drew McIntyre, yeah, it's like this delay. But Yeah, with now I want to go on to Becky Lynch retaining the NXT title versus Natalia. Um, it looks like they have plans on Lynch holding that title for quite a while. Your thoughts?
Oh, why? You should be the world heavyweight. You should be the women's heavyweight title. You know, I
Okay,
mean, the
there's the
women's
delay.
title. The women, why? It's like, well, we got NXT. We're the colorful ones. We
Uh-huh.
have the ones that we're trying to get. We're trying to get over. We're trying to get new stars, and we're bringing the usuals. So I don't know why, but it's like, I guess
Right.
I mean, what are they going to do? Merge the women's title with the NXT title? I'm just trying to figure this out. Well, your storm is going nuts.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Hold on one second. I'm gonna see if I can switch to my phone.
All right.
All right, let me see here. I'm gonna see if I can switch to my phone because this storm is being terrible.
That's fine.
Okay. Um, all right. Let me see if this will work.
Hey, can you hear me?
Absolutely.
Much better.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
No, but let's bring it up with NXT. Let's bring it up with why is Becky? Why in the world is Becky doing the NXT title? Why is Dominic doing the North American? Why? It, it's I mean, why any of this? And it's just like these NXT is supposed to be for the ones that are going through it. They're trying to make it to the big time. If WWE stealing their titles, what's the point?
Mm, okay, hang on. Hey, can you hear me right there?
I can, yes. Did you
Okay,
hear me?
sweet. I'm just gonna control everything from right here. Screw the headset. Um, you know, it's an interesting twist. It's a great twist with Becky Lynch, considering that she's the last of the four horsewomen to win the NXT championship. She's finally a Grand Slam champion. And I mean, like, it's not like, I mean, Lynch is already solidified Hall of Famer, you know?
Yeah.
Uh, some may say she really didn't need the NXT championship, but no one's really complaining, you know?
Well, they're not playing because it's Becky Lynch, but here's a question I've got. I mean, this is NXT. Why are you putting it to the big show? It's not making NXT any bigger.
Yeah.
It's not making it any bigger, and it's like, I mean, they've got some. The biggest thing to me is I truly am waiting for Vince to go because I really, really believe it goes back to black and gold. I do.
Yeah. It
I
should.
do. I believe it goes back. I believe it goes back to black and gold, and there's going to be the dark feel again, and it's going to be what it needs to be. I just, it just feels like 12 months. I mean, it just feels like 12 months of pride when I see this NXT.
Yeah. No,
It, it
absolutely.
just, it just does. It looks ridiculous. It looks ridiculous. It looks like, yeah. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason for this, unless Vince was trying to screw Triple H, which he
Yeah.
wasn't.
Which, I mean, for the last few years, the last more than a few years, I really wouldn't be shocked if they were like so much at odds.
Well, the thing is, and then there's the Vince and I mean, remember Vince and Stephanie were at odds. Vince and Shane were at odds. Thing about Vince is there's a reason he's friends with Donald Trump. There
Right.
just is. It's like just the narcissism and the ego, and it's like, and you got to do it my way or the highway. And it's like, truthfully, he's made billions of dollars. He's also left billions on the table, and the biggest thing that I can think about is someone like Roddy Piper would fight him. Someone like Gorilla was like, no, this is stupid.
Right.
Someone like Gorilla Monsoon. Someone like, it's like people getting into the face. It's like Shawn Michaels before he became older and everything got into his face. Vince needs someone that gets in his face.
Exactly. Yes.
It's like, I mean, you know darn good well Hulk did. You know that because he got his way all the time.
Well, then you know what? Well, then here's the thing. Maybe it's time Triple H did it. You know, because I mean, what Triple H isn't going anywhere. He's married to Stephanie.
Yeah.
And you know what? At this point, she would take Triple H aside. Don't forget who was why she even walked out in the first place.
Well, it's like I know that, and that's exactly the reason. And it's like, and I remember I was wrong on mine because I thought he was sicker than he was, which he was. But you get my point. But the biggest thing about it is Vince needs someone to fight him to make the product better.
Yeah,
he always has. Like I said, the biggest mistake. I can say this: the Attitude Era was awesome. But the biggest shock of the Attitude Era was losing Gorilla Monsoon.
Yeah.
Because a healthy gorilla going into his 65, 70 years old, whatever, and being part-time and doing one thing, there were some stupid things that he would have just said, no, and Vince would have listened.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the gorilla went all the way back to when he owned part of the company anyway. He isn't going to put up with the ridiculous Russo. He's not he's not going to put up with stupidity. And it's like with the stupidity, there wasn't those ones to tell him no, that this is dumb.
Yeah.
And he needs that. It's like Vince can be a tough dude, but you need other tough guys. I think he respects it.
Yeah, absolutely he does. So I want to move into our second topic here, and that is our SmackDown results from September the 22nd. So, as people know already, see, I'm trying to click the logo here. Okay, never mind it. So there we go. So, with that being said, John Cena made his return. Io Sky retained the women's championship, the WWE Women's Championship over Asuka. It was supposed to be AJ Styles to face Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa, but he was attacked. And then John Cena signed the contract. And so it's left for who's going to be his mystery partner at Fastlane. Now, there's been a rumor and a report put out that Randy Orton was spotted at the Performance Center, and he looks really good. Is Orton going to be his mystery partner, or who do you think it's going to be?
I didn't even hear the rumor, and I knew it was Randy Orton. It's like, and where's your video, by the way?
Man, this storm is just wreaking havoc on StreamYard right now.
I was going to say, you look a little blue.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, it'll be Randy Orton. It will be. That's just the way it is. It's the biggest thing is you need your star power.
Right.
You need your star power, and Randy's a star, and they're both going away. They're going down, you know. And it's like, and it's also probably, and of course, he's going to cost Cena, and it's probably going to set up their final match.
Interesting.
It's going to set up their final match, and then it's like, and that's the thing, because you know Orton likes being heel.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. He definitely. That's not saying he doesn't love the fans, but he definitely loves being heel more than the face, just like his mentor Triple H.
Oh, yeah. See, Triple H can pull the babyface thing, though. He can. Orton, not really. Orton looks like he wants to kill you, even when he's babyface.
Yeah.
Yeah, Triple H doesn't like babyface, but he can do it. He do it well. But see, Triple H is exactly the point of what I've said about baby faces. He doesn't change anything. There's just a different person he wants to kill.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that's what I keep saying about Roman Reigns. Turn him babyface in the way he is right now, and he is a superstar.
Mm-hmm.
He's an absolute superstar babyface. It's like you don't have to have him smiling. You don't have to have everything. The fans don't need that anymore. Fans just need you to whip who they want you whipping.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, I'm going to go on to our next topic here, and that is some AEW news. And pretty much last um, Saturday on Collision, officially Christian wins the TNT Championship. He no longer has to walk around with a stolen belt. He's officially the champion. I never was a fan of that. I think that it weakens a guy like Luchasaurus's character when he allows Christian to bully him for a title that was his, you know? But in the long run, I think this is going to set up Christian versus Luchasaurus, a Luchasaurus face turn, and Luchasaurus getting his title back. But just want to get your thoughts about this real quick.
Oh, man. Well, for one big thing, faith and time and a time machine needed to happen. And for Arn Anderson to wake up in the morning someday and say his neck is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But he can feel everything. So those two could have an amazing ass match.
Yeah.
That would be Arn Anderson and Christian would be amazing. For that.
True.
It's like I can just see it now too. I mean, he beats Brock to smithereens, and especially in a time when Arn's not there. Arn doesn't even want the Glock. Arn doesn't even want the Glock. It's like I don't even care anymore. I'm putting my body on the line.
Yeah.
Arn. Here's the thing: old man Arn or young man Arn, he sounds dangerous. He sounds exceptionally dangerous. That's the whole thing about. That was the one thing that made him. It's why I don't like any counters, because Arn Anderson sounds like a very dangerous man.
He always has.
Yes, he sounds like, and it's like. And see, the thing is, the gun thing for his shirt with the Glock.
Yeah,
he's just showing the ability of what he has now. He has maybe one or two punches, and he's got a gun.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he's got left in him. He's telling you this. He's telling you because he's punched him plenty. He's punched people plenty. It's just he does like one bump, but I'm saying he doesn't have a lot. But he's telling you he's got two punches and a Glock.
Yeah.
And the thing is, he's telling you this when he's doing this.
Exactly. Yeah, you said it. Old men like that always have the mind frame of that they have one punch left. He has two. And
yeah, but it's like that's the whole. See, and that's the big thing. It's like I saw just off topic for a second. I saw a one of these little indie MMA things like on there. A 43-year-old Russian dude like whacked around this 33-year-old guy. It looked like if Tank Abbott would have had one more healthy thing in him when he was old.
Yeah.
He was just as slow, but the guy could bang. And it was just as slow as it would have been with Tank, but he could bang. And it's like, that's exactly what an old man is. They don't have speed, but I mean, it's just like George Foreman.
It's all heart, yeah.
And the last thing you lose is your banging power.
Pretty much.
You don't have speed anymore, but you got the banging power.
Yeah, you still retain that, or at least whatever's left of it. Well, I'm going to go on to our next topic here, and that is the news that the WWE SmackDown Live will return to the USA Network. A move to a 3-hour program is rumored. Now, this second part is really one I wanted to get your opinion about.
Oh, Lord. I hate 3 hours. I mean, because I've been to Raw with the 3-hour Raw, and I was with a 11-year-old nephew, and we had to leave after 2 hours. We left because he was getting bored.
Oh, wow.
He was getting bored. We were at Raw in Atlanta, and it's like, and he was bored. We left at the 3rd hour, and it's like, it was a nice show, but that's too long.
Yeah.
3 hours. 3 hours is too. And 3 hours is for the advertisers, but it's too long. It's too long. It needs 2, and I'm with Kevin Nash on a lot of things. He thinks it needs 90 minutes to 2 hours. I agree with him.
Yeah.
For one thing, why is it? Maybe it's because Nash is pissed off of LA Knight, which I don't care. Whatever. I mean, he's 63 years old, 6'10". He can say whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Well, I do at 64 years old, but this is the thing. Why in the world did it take this long? Why isn't Kevin Nash head of production on that thing whatsoever? Some of the things that he brings up, talking about like some ideas that you get in movies, what he wants to do there, and it's like, put him in charge of a production, at least for NXT.
Mm-hmm.
Because Kevin Nash is tremendous in the tremendous mindset with production.
He is.
Tremendous mindset with production. It's like, or you can bring him to AEW and do that. It's like they need some help. It's like we need a change. I mean, WWE's got some good changes with the 8K cameras, but it does need movie style things like they did with 2020.
Yeah, they did. Now, as far as 3 hour programming goes, did you mind it so much when WCW Nitro was 3 hours, or did you feel the same?
I always hated 3 hours, but at least they moved fast. They moved a lot. They moved a lot faster because they moved a lot faster than Raw because the outside of the opening 20 minutes, it was all wrestling.
Yeah.
It was all wrestling. It was outside of 1999 or something. It was Jericho versus Benoit. It was Malenko and Rey Mysterio. It was
exactly.
Over,
and see,
it
the
was
thing is,
so it moved faster.
Exactly. And see, the thing is even with 3 hours, WCW had more than enough to fill it. They had a low card, they had a mid card, they had a main event card, upper card. They had a whole cruiserweight division. Like, they had more than enough to fill up 3 hours every single week.
Well, and I loved Nitro. I love Nitro because what kept me on Nitro is it got me away from Jerry Lawler. I mean, Bobby Heenan. Bobby Heenan was drunk and he wasn't at his best anymore. But he literally spoke like a manager with one more guy he's looking for.
Yep.
He's looking for that one more guy. He talked up the baby faces, talked up the heels, said this type of thing. You could just imagine him saying, yeah, I'll take this guy. I'll take him to the top, but I'm looking for him.
Yeah.
And it's like, and he brought the thing up and he brought the story through and he'd be like, I'll tell you why. It's like, oh, he kisses babies, so I can't stand this thing. But boy, he's a tough guy. He always did that in WWE too, WWF
right.
too. But that's what I liked. There you go. That's what I loved. Your noise, your thing's going down.
Yep. I don't. Okay, I'm it out. Yep, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, that was the whole point of why I liked Heenan over Lawler. Lawler was woohoo, puppies. No, couldn't stand any of that. My thing with Heenan was it sounded like an adult who was successful at a time trying one more. Was he a con artist? Of course he was. That was
He always was.
But you could just tell he's just that one last. He's that one. He was that one last. You know what I'm saying? And he was that one. He was that one last little thing, and he's kind of the adult in the room. Funny to say that, but he was always looking. He always put up Goldberg, but he's telling you this is. I mean, these are wrestlers. These are tough guys. He's putting over the product.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. So, on to our next topic here. Part one of the addressing the roster cuts here. So after 19 years, Dolph Ziggler was released from WWE. He's a multi-time world champion, Grand Slam champion, Money in the Bank winner. So I mean, you kind of saw this coming. They didn't have him do. They wouldn't have him doing much. And he obviously was on this tail end of his tenure in WWE. What do you think the future is for Dolph Ziggler?
Nick Nemeth is all elite. Nick Nemeth is all elite. And personally, Nick Nemeth is all elite. And it's like, and guess what? Nick the Natural Nemeth. If you're going to have the villain, if you're going to have villain on the back of his tights, listen to that name. Listen to that name, Nick the Natural Nemeth. It's like I hated Dolph Ziggler. The reason I hated you know why I hated Dolph Ziggler, that name?
Why?
Because look at how good he looks. Look at that Hollywood look. The perfect body, the perfect tan, the perfect everything. You're naming Dolph Ziggler. Roman Reigns is a Hollywood name.
Yes.
That is just said. It sounds like Vin Diesel Part 2.
Basically.
Roman Reigns. It sounds like it. Dolph Ziggler. Sounds like a porn name.
The second coming of Val Venus. Okay.
Yes. Dolph Ziggler was horrible. And I'm like, I hated the name because Nick the Natural Nemeth would be a Hollywood name. Put him in movies.
Yeah.
You have to market something. It's like Dolph Ziggler, you cannot market that name.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
He was amazing as a wrestler, phenomenal as a wrestler, but get him out there in the thing, not really. Nick Nemeth, you can market that.
Absolutely, you definitely market that one. Now he will definitely be in the Hall of Fame someday. But for right now, I would like to think that his career is not over with. I would love to see him in AEW, maybe even win one championship, albeit if it was the last one of his career. He's a very, very decorated wrestler, and who knows? I mean, he
Oh,
may be on.
MJF versus Nick Nemeth.
I think that'd be a banger of a match.
That would
I
be
think
amazing.
even at his age, he can still go.
Oh yeah. Oh God. And then Shelton Benjamin's gone.
Yep.
I mean, Shelton Benjamin versus. Here's the thing: Shelton Benjamin versus Keith Lee.
That's a marquee match too. And you know what? Speaking of roster cuts, another notable one, and this is our next topic. Matt Riddle, the original Bro, announces on social media his termination from WWE.
Bro. Oh. You want to know what'd be funny? If he could get off of the weed for the second, he could go around the bend to try to get back to UFC. He is a trained MMA fighter.
Yes, he has a few wins under his belt.
But he's like 8 wins or something. But it's like, get off the. I mean, that's what whole Dana White's issue with Matt Riddle was. He wouldn't get off the stupid weed. It's like, just dude, settle down.
It was the same thing with WWE because if you look at it, he had violated the wellness policy for like the second time, and they actually made an announcement that said that they had no plans to push him because he kept screwing up. He kept violating the wellness policy. So they're going to have him middling around, and then eventually they're going to release him. You know, and with these roster cuts that have happened, you know, there were some that you were sad to see go, some you were kind of like meh, you know. But Riddle was just, I mean, you think about it, tag champion. He had the personality, he had the charisma. To me, he was the second coming of Rob Van Dam.
You want to know
the way
what
he talked,
was?
the way he moved in the ring, you know.
Well,
he was as if Rob Van Dam knew MMA also.
Well, you want to know what he was? He was what Eugene should have been.
Yeah.
They made Eugene the mentally disabled, and I'm like, that there was nowhere you could go with it. It's like, that is where, if you're going to do that to Dinsmore, do it like Matt Riddle.
That's true.
You know, it's like, dude, yeah, you know, that kind of stuff. You know, Dinsmore could do it. It's
Yeah,
like, I mean, it might drive Cornette nuts, but what doesn't? But I mean,
you know
it would
what?
be
With Eugene or Nick Dinsmore, you know, like he like for his personality, he could sure go. He was the comedic relief that could go.
Well, he was tremendous as Eugene. It's just a stupid gimmick. You can't go anywhere with it.
Same with Santino Marella. He could go. They gave him a stupid gimmick.
Well, you want to know? I always feel like every time they gave the dumbest gimmicks to the guys that could really go.
Yeah.
It's like they punished them for knowing that they are. It's like the only one that ever stood up to that was Dan Severn. They tried to give him that. They tried to make him say 666 and do that for the ministry. He's like, no.
He's like, nah.
No, and then I'm in a small town. I'm in a church town. They ask no, and then he's like, well, we can do. I mean, well, we can job you out. I says, well, you can ask me to go. I can't say I'm going to. And who in the world is going to throw the Dan Severn out?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
well,
but maybe Shamrock.
I wouldn't even go that far, though.
I know, maybe, and that's a long shot because those two had the wars.
Yes, they did. Real life wars. And then to round the show out, we're gonna go to our weekly finish or DQ, and you're gonna like this one. Finish or DQ. Of all the wrestlers in WWE history with a world title reign of 1,000+ days, Roman Reigns has the least amount of title defenses at 51. WWE has mismanaged his historic reign.
Absolutely not, because the only reason Hulk Hogan didn't have the least is because he had house shows.
Mm-hmm.
They made that belt where it's important. You don't do it all the time. You got to remember, Bret Hart is the one that did it all the time. Right. He's the one that challenged it all the time. Shawn Michaels all the time. You can't. That's the thing. The idea, and plus the fact Roman Reigns had cancer twice. You're watching
Yeah,
his
but
health.
that was before the second time he had it. That was before his reign.
Understood. Remember he's had chemo twice.
Mm-hmm.
You're watching every bit of his immune system. You're watching everything. You're watching how much he works. You're doing all that. It's like, and plus the fact the champion is special.
Yeah.
Champions, like I said, Hulk Hogan did it a lot more. Hulk Hogan did it a lot more because he was in house shows. He was in house shows in four of these a year. It's like, no, it's like he would have been at least if it was because the champion is supposed to be special. It's like you're going after it. Ric Flair wanted, he challenged it all the time, but you got to remember he challenged it against George South.
Yeah, he did.
And it's like he was there to make it look good. He did it all over the place, but it is a different world. In Mid-Atlantic, it was needed. It was needed. They did that stuff in WWF. Not necessary. You make them special. Go after it, and then maybe you don't work as much. But guess what? That's where the money is.
Yeah, that is true. But also at the same time, it's kind of reminiscent of one of the times that Brock Lesnar was Universal Champion, and he'd go like 6 months without defending it. In fact, he'd go 4 months without even, having an appearance on television.
Yeah.
And see, the only pushback against this that I would have is it's not the 1980s anymore, Mm-hmm. And whenever you have now, Roman Reigns has managed to do a lot to make that title stay relevant despite him not being there as much. But there was the one time with Brock Lesnar when he was Universal Champion, and Vince was cutting him, these deals where he could pretty much show up whenever he wanted to. And people literally forgot about the Universal title.
Mm-hmm.
It was like at some point, okay, the Intercontinental Championship is the most important on Raw. And
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, well, Brock Lesnar going to show up next week, and people were like, okay. And that's my point. That's my point. Is this the point that you don't want to get to? Is when they are off television for so long that the fans grow apathetic. See, the less they see of a championship, the more they start not giving a damn about it.
Well, I think of it this way too. Early years, UFC. Randy Couture won the first title in '97, and then he dropped it and just said, "I'm just going to take off for a little bit because they didn't give him the money wasn't right." So he did his thing. Did a wrestle. Went through a few companies, did that stuff. Went right back and took Hizzo out. In 2000, 3 years later. It's like at some point you know yourself and you make yourself special.
Right.
You make yourself special. You make yourself out there. It's like Jim Cornette says it himself. How do we miss you if you don't go away?
That's true.
Miss you, and I don't mind it, but it's like I did not mind Brock doing the way he did it because you can't beat him anyway. This is not Honky Tonk Man. Honky Tonk Man avoiding and stuff. he didn't do that, but it'd be the equivalent of Honky Tonk Man avoiding doing it for 6 months. But Honky isn't a fighter.
No.
Who's going to beat Brock? That's the point of it. And if you beat Brock, you are in the stratosphere.
Basically.
That's the thing. Who cares? You're okay. He comes back. He does exactly what you said, and he absolutely annihilates you.
Yeah.
So and he came back for 20 seconds. And that is the whole point of everything. It's like there is a reason for everything. It's what's special. It is forever and ever. In movies and in everything, that's what the Expendables are about. You go find that one little thing. There's always something special.
Always.
There's always something special. It's like, was there any cameos in the Expendables 4, by the way?
You talking about of the main cast or just like
just people just dropping on in?
Not really. Andy Garcia played the main bad guy.
Remember, Chuck Norris dropped in one time, and then that was.
Yeah, in Expendables 4, there weren't any.
Yeah, that makes it. It's like because the one thing that made it fun. One thing that makes it fun is, hey, Chuck can run in.
Yeah.
Hey, Chuck can run in. That's the Chuck can come in just and say, hey, I've known you. How you doing? Who are you again? That's what made it kind of fun. It's like Schwarzenegger drops in. It's like not dropping in now. Who's going to care about Megan Fox? Truth. It's just truth. Who cares?
She didn't do bad in the film. I liked her.
But I'm like, you have that full time, but it's like what makes the Expendables. It's like, who cares about Couture? He's 60. He's still a badass, but who cares? What you care about is kind of like the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I would say outside of Megan Fox, maybe of the main cast, the youngest one was 50 Cent, and he's 47.
Yeah, and you know something though, but it's like they're all in shape.
Oh yeah, they're all phenomenal.
They all look phenomenal.
Even Dolph Lundgren.
Well, and he's 65. And here's the thing. Here's the thing about Couture. Did you ever hear about his heart attack a couple years ago?
Somewhat about it.
He had a heart attack. He was having a heart attack in the middle of his training session. He decided to get a foam roller to try to foam roll his heart attack out, and then he finished his training, and then he walked to the hospital.
Wow.
He walked to the hospital, and it's like, oh, he had a major heart attack.
A major one.
He had a major one, and he was trying to foam roll it out. It took 20 minutes to finish this thing. Then he walked. He's like, I better walk to the hospital. 3 blocks. 3 blocks. And it's like, oh, and then they were laying there. Oh, by the way, he had 3 arteries clogged. He had to go get him surgery. That's Randy Couture.
That's him.
I mean, there are badasses in this world. There always will be.
Yeah, there is. I mean, shoot, even in the film, how he has the cauliflower ear?
Yeah.
There's this one scene where 50 Cent asks him, like, hey, whatever happened to your ear? And he's like, oh, I'm glad you asked me. And it's one of those, like, oh, here comes a boring story type deal, So, like, but it's great because he alluded his obviously real life, profession to, like, he mixed it inside of the film. But wrapping up with this topic right here. So you're gonna actually go DQ on this one.
Absolutely, because it's a special. Yeah, like I said, he's had 2 chemos. You got to watch his health. You got to watch everything. He looks great, but the WWE watches. They watch concussions now. They watch everything now.
Yeah.
They're watching your health.
That's very fair.
So it's like they're watching that. So I mean, and here it's going to be gone. He's going to get beaten. He's going to leave. So just leave it be.
Yeah, and then at some point. Well, no, and also as far as world title matches, you do have Seth Rollins as world heavyweight champion, so that at least
Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins.
Oh, I'm sorry, Seth Rollins. Yeah, as the world heavyweight champion. So while Reigns is not defending it, I guess the fans are still getting something anyway.
Yeah, I still absolutely feel gypped by the Nakamura because I mean, I know they did it with the thing whatsoever. See, when he came back with the riot gear against Reigns, he was laughing. Mm-hmm. This time around, he should have been dang serious. He should have come down with it's like you just put my wife into it, you're dead. I felt gypped because that would have been a real part of the story, especially beating him.
Yep, exactly. Bringing wife into it, and then you turn right around and you beat him. Like, I mean, yeah. That's that, and then that right there, pretty much extends it. I think eventually Nakamura will beat him, but I also really think that they're holding out for Rollins versus Reigns. That's if they do champion versus champion format, like Raw versus SmackDown format at Survivor Series. If not, then it's anybody's guess what's going to happen. Hell, maybe Reigns defends the championship. Maybe Rollins defends the championship. Who knows? But
well, Nakamura. The thing about Nakamura though is, he could have beaten him at the last pay-per-view while he was wild and all that stuff, and just doing all that. Then he can come back the next pay-per-view with the riot gear. Says he knows he has to take this serious now. This is a dangerous man. He has to take it serious.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that concludes our show. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Once again, you can catch us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. If you're catching us on YouTube, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and the notification bell for all things and everything Sideline Sports. Jake, where can everybody find you?
Sundays on the South Florida Tribune. It is the Professor and the Pupils sometimes. Mondays here. Tuesdays, we are bringing back on an independent thing, Yin versus Yang, every couple weeks. So we're doing that. Wednesdays, Confidential and let's see, Sports Exchange. Thursday nights, this week probably not, but the Pundit's Pundit. And then when I'm off the bench when they need me, the Gauntlet. And then I'm also got a pile of places that I am on social media. You'll see me starting from there.
All right. Anything to keep him occupied from the Chicago Bears. But
No. There's nothing. No. There's nothing to keep me occupied. That is my occupation. Me to destroy the fans.
yeah, basically. Well, hey, thanks to everybody who's out there watching, and we will see you next week for more Top Rope Talk. You all take it easy. Later.